So welcome today to the Australia Day event, India Republic Day. And today we have a father-daughter duo up here being your MC for the start. So my name is Fazana Kambata and this is my dad, Feroz Pestanji, and we're going to be taking you through the first half of the day today.
Welcome everyone, and thank you very much for joining us on this auspicious day of Australia Day and India's Republic Day. As you all know, the Federation of Indian Associations of Western Australia for last few years has been involved with a lot of community work, and thanks to all the support we get from the government and the agencies and the councils, we have been able to provide a lot of assistance to the students, giving them guidance, and especially during the COVID days. There has been a regular program on domestic violence that FIAWA has been involved with. We also do a lot of work for the bereavement and helping people. Also, a lot of work has been done for immigration, mental health, and during hardship time, especially the COVID, FIAWA was up front helping out people. We regularly also hold senior citizen meetings, take them out for picnics, outings, computer trainings and stuff like that. There is always a regular work of elders engagement. There are programs that are done weekly for the yoga and the Bhangra dances and now the Bollywood dances. Also recently we started the music and the singing choir. And recently with Hirit we have started the photography session for training people on photographics. May I now request our honorable members to please have a seat, and we will do the Australian and Aboriginal flag hoisting. Can I request the Honorable Matt Keogh, Honorable David Honey, and Tony Booty to please come near the flag posts. Thank you, gentlemen. Can we have the Australian music? And also the Aboriginal flag. Auntie Roma is coming. And Auntie Roma, can we have you near the stage, please? And also Fred Penny. May I request everyone to please stand when the national anthems are being played. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please raise for the national anthem? Can we have the Australian national anthem, please?
Australians all let us rejoice, for we...
Stop. Let the flags go up. Give it a tag.
Australians all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Indian National Anthem and the flag hoisting. May I request our Consul General Shri Amarjit Singh Taki, who is doing some wonderful work for fostering Australia-India relationships, and Shri Atul Garg to the podium for the Indian national flag.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Hooray. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the warm enthusiasm. Can I request all our VIPs to please be seated? Thank you. May I request our FIAWA Cultural Coordinator Jose to be here and lead us to the welcome speech and the cultural program. Thank you.
Auntie. Kaya. Listen, I'm here to invite Auntie Roma to do the welcome to country as we are standing on the Noongar land. It's our privilege to have Auntie Roma today. Auntie Roma has worked significantly in Aboriginal education, the arts, where she is continuously working with promoting Noongar language and cultural activities. She has translated many children's songs to Noongar language. This is when I came to Australia as a first generation migrant, I was not sure about to say what it means Kaya. Right now I can say Kaya, hello. So I know Auntie more than almost 5 to 7 years and being in the community. I can talk more about Auntie, hours and hours. And so she's a part of Sister Kate project. She's doing great work in the children's in the Midland area and especially during my official work too. So I don't want to make more time to talk about her. It's our privilege to have Auntie Roma here today, and I'm requesting to welcoming us on your country. Thank you.
Oops. Yarn Kaya. Gan Jurubin Yunuk Jinagin. Gan Jurubin Gan Nicha. Wajak Buja. Now, ngalak Kainmord, ngalak Bullamord, ngalak Bulla Bujarak Ualku, Yang in ngalak Kundam, Dunch Warankin, Ngan, Nunuk, Ngarlak, Mudichmord. We're here together as one today, and I feel privileged to be able to share this time with you as we all come together as one. And as I stand here, I represent the people that came before me. My Noongar name is Yibiang, and that was the name that was gifted me by my mother, Yibiang, who did a lot of groundwork within communities. And all I can say is that I'm honoured to be able to try and build on everything that the foundations that she's put in place. And I would like to sing you in. Yarn, Kaya Nyunduk Yualko Yarn Kaya Nyunduk Nichi Yualko Ngarlak Nunuk Jinang Yay Jurup Nunuk Jinang Yay Yarn Kaya Nunga Bujayak Yarn Kaya Wajak Nunga Bujayak Ngarlak Nunuk Jinang Yay Jurup Nunuk Jinang Yay Yarn Kaya Jurup Nunuk Jinang Yay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy, for the beautiful welcome to country. It's our blessing to be walk on your land with all your blessings and the nature what you are giving us. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Perry, Fred, and Jose. They're lovely. May I request our VIPs to please come on the stage. Get the girl kids. And can we have the little kids to come and welcome them? May I ask Atulji and Aibji, our chairperson, to please be on the stage to welcome our guests. Can I request the Honorable Matt Keogh, MP for Boat, to please come on stage? Honorable Dr. Tony Booty, Minister for Education, Aboriginal Affairs, Citizenship and Multicultural, to please come on stage. Can we request Dr. David Honey, MLA, member for Cottesloe, and leader of the WL Liberal Party? We actually had Terry Healy here, but he is gone and will be coming back soon. Can we request Mrs. Jessica Shaw, Parliamentary Secretary, to please come on stage? Go. Can we request Mrs. Meredith Hammett, Parliamentary Secretary for Minister for Education, Aboriginal Affairs, Citizenship, to please be on stage? Mr. Hugh Trevor Jones, Member for Darling. Your Worship, Teresa Lyons, Mayor of Gosnells, please join us on the stage. Can we have a round of applause for our VIPs, please? Your Worship, Patrick Hall, Mayor of Canning. Can we have Mr. Bill Munro, WA State Chairperson, Prostate Cancer. We just want to acknowledge all these people who have joined us today. So Bill Munro, Joel Whitner, Head of International Relations, Murdoch, and Terry Brown, who is with us for the Gosnells Neighborhood Watch, Mr. Joe Tozana, Organization of African Communities of WA, Mr. Lul Ibrahim, President, Somalia Support Perth, Mr. Mamta Kocher, President. I'm calling. Yeah. And Salim Tigin, President, Ethiopian Community, we welcome you all. Mr. Felicia, Women of World Stage, Carla Bennett, President, Multicultural Labour Organization, Mr. Peter Ho, President, Australia Haka, and Marcelo, Life Coach. Also, can we have our respected Consul General, Sri Amarjit Singh, on the stage with us, please? The traditional lighting of the lamp, which brings in brightness and light to all the people in life. Can I request Atulji and Aibji to please lead our VIPs to the lighting of the lamp ceremony? The traditional lighting of the lamp. May I request Honorable Matt Keogh to please join Atulji and Aibji. Only these people, yeah. Matt Keogh, Honorable Matt Keogh, please go ahead. Thank you. Honorable Sri Tony Bhuti. Can I request Sri Amarjit Singh, CG? Can we request Dr. David Honey to please join us? Pardon? Teresa Lines, please, Mayor. Mayor of Canning, Your Worship Patrick Hall. And Mr. Hugh Trevor Jones, member for Darling, please. Also, can we ask our chairperson, Sri Aibji, to please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for lighting of the lamp ceremony. Appreciate your support. Please have a seat. May we request our patron Sri Atulji to please honor our VIPs with the FIAWA scarves. Yep, okay.
Honorable Minister Matt Keogh. Honorable Minister Dr. Tony Bhuti. Mr. Terry Healy, MLA. Sorry, David. Mr. Terry Healy, MLA. Mayor Teresa Lin. Jessica Shaw, MLA. Ms. Meredith Hamad, MLA. Dr. David Honey, MLA. Mayor Patrick Hall. Oh, sorry. That's my mistake. Names are not full. Our friend John Hughes, MLA. Thank you. Mr. Bill Monroe. Mr. Joel Witter. Mr. Terry Brown. Ms. Mamada Kochar. Ms. Lulu Ibrahim. Ms. Carla Benitez. Phil Shah. Peter Ho. Not by the least, our loving Consular General. He's a part of our community, part of our team, more our part of the family. The great work he has done for FIAWA for the last couple of years, couple of months, always been with us. It's our tradition to be acknowledged, all our dignitaries on stage. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and for joining us on the stage.
We have a couple of councillors are here also. Ms. Sarah Saberi and the new councillor for City of Canning. Yeah, Shens. Shens and Sarah Saberi, please come and accept our scarves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we request our chairperson, Shri Aibji, to please come on stage and then address us on this auspicious day of India's Republic Day and Australia Day. Aibji.
Hello. Good day. Thank you. Honorable Matt Keogh, Member for Burt, Honorable Dr. Tony Butty, Member for Armadale, Ms. Jessica Shaw, Member for Swan Hills, Ms. Meredith Hammett, Member for Mirrabooka, Hugh Jones, Member for Darling Range, David Honey, Dr. David Honey, Member for Cottesloe, Your Worship Teresa Lynch, Mayor of Gosnells, Worship Patrick Hall, Mayor of Canning, Mr. Bill Munro, WA State Chairperson, Prostate Cancer Foundation, Joel Whitwer, Head of International Relations, Murdoch University, Terry Brown, Chairperson, Gosnells Neighborhood Watch, Joe Tasuma, I see, Lul Ibrahim, President Somalia Support Perth and Board Member of the Australian Multicultural Council, Mamta Kulchar, President United in Diversity, Ms. Felicia, President of the Women of World Stage, Carla Benitez, President Multicultural Labour Association, Organization, Mr. Peter Ho, President of the Australian Hakka Association, along with a few, plenty more, Mr. Marcelo Sirigno, Life Coach, and our own Consul General of India, Mr. Amarjeet Singh Taki. Ladies and gentlemen, all members of FIAWA, committee members, member associations, presidents, and members of all our associations, our partners, our sponsors, and all our well-wishers and the general public. Welcome all. Thank you for coming to today's celebration of the Indian Republic Day and the Australia Day. We are doing this celebration, we have been doing this the last 4 years, I mean, except for a year we missed due to COVID, on grants from the National Australia Day Council, and they have told us, they emphasize the wordings of reflect, respect, and celebrate. So I was looking at the word reflect, and I was trying to reflect on what is it I'm reflecting about. And then, it's very easy for us to forget that we stand in a land which has one of the oldest civilization, if not the oldest. They have DNA dating back to 75,000 years, 75 millennia. This is the land that we stand on. The culture, the tradition, the history of this land is unparalleled anywhere else in the world. So when you reflect on the luck that we have to stand here, to be here, to live here in this land which has been taken care of by these people for 75,000 years. And then now there's a lot of history that has gone, water that has flown under the bridge. It's time for us to reflect on what all has happened. There are discussions going on today. This morning I heard in the news that the Albanese government is looking to put a permanent member of the indigenous nations as part of the constitution. So we are moving forward to do some, to repair some relations and make the world a better place. So we reflect on the history of this land. We reflect on all the peoples that came here from all over the world. We came from India. A lot of people, you can see, people from all over the world, you have come and settled here. We heard the welcome to country by Auntie Roma. This is how they welcomed everybody who came into this country over the last 200-300 years. Everybody was welcomed with the welcome to country, blessed when they put their foot on this land for you to have a good everlasting life. So we reflect on that, and we are happy to have this day to celebrate. There are discussions about we change the date, but whatever it is, we celebrate Australia Day for all the wonderful things that happened and that has brought us all together here today. And coincidentally, and due to a big stroke of whatever genius or luck or whatever you call it, today also happens to be the Indian Republic Day, when India was declared a republic, with our own independent republic, moved away from the head of from under the kingdom. So this is a red letter day in the history of India. This is the day that India became a sovereign, independent republic. And a day that is celebrated, a holiday in India too. And it is celebrated, big celebrations, big parades. The Republic Day parade in Delhi is something to be seen. And, when you have a school and in the college, we used to do training for months, for years, in fact, to get into that squad of the elite 12 people who represented your state for a particular cadet or something, to get into the Republic Day parade. I never made it, but the people who make it are the best of the best, and the best parades we have is on the Republic Day. So it's happy that we can celebrate both these dates together on this day here. And thank you all for coming and helping us celebrate it together. A few words about FIAWA. FIAWA, we have been functioning for the last 5-6 years. We were formed to provide services to the Indian community, which the community felt was in a need of. And we have been able to do a lot in the last few years in the fields of student assistance by way of giving assistance to students by money or by place to stay or by part-time jobs or providing food in some instances, especially during COVID. We had 5 food outlets. So we think we have done a lot of the student assistance service. Bereavement services, again, a lot of people come to Australia. There are many visitors, many people bring their parents, many people come here as students. And when they come here and then something unfortunate happens and then they do not know what to do, now they have got our name and number. And we're happy to say, we are sad to say that last 2 years, we have assisted in over 30 bereavement services, which includes repatriations to India, cremations done here and burials done here. About 29 in total, with just one agency with whom we have a relationship. We have also been able to assist elders in the community by providing, we do a yearly picnic. I hope many of you have seen our picnics the last 3-4 years to York, to Bunbury. This year it was to Harvey Dam. And we also conduct software courses for elders to be internet safe, cyber safe, and we also have intervened in a few cases of elder abuse where they have reached out to us, or a cousin or somebody reached out to us and said these people in this house are getting ill-treated, and we have been able to intervene and do something about it. We also done a lot in domestic violence. Unfortunately, again, the Indian community is growing. Cases of domestic violence and family strife is increasing day by day. And our team of Sonia and Baliji and everybody, they say they're getting like 1 case a week or 1 in 2 weeks. No, we have assisted in dozens and dozens of cases. Many cases we have told them the way forward. We have done what we can do. Some have been successful in getting them back together. Some have been successful in getting them separated, and some are still, fighting in the way. They're all finding their own way on what to do. So we are happy to have a lot of communities and organizations here that help us: the Department of Home, the WA Legal Aid, Circle Green, Jacaranda Community Center, the Red Cross, the Multicultural Service Center, ECCWA, the Fair Works Commission when there's a problem with the salaries not being paid, the Australian Federal Police, the local police, and the Center for Human Safety and Well-being. We have, in all these cases, we have certain wish lists. In domestic violence cases, we wish we had a safe house, 1 or 2. We wish we had one central coordinating agency because we find not all the cases are the same. Every case has got its own individual problems, and we wish that somebody or any of these agencies would help in court representation, because we find that when you reach court, then they're all out. There's no more free counseling or free anything available. You have to go and find a lawyer, a family lawyer, and that's quite expensive. We have also done some help in visa cases. We have recommended for visas and been able to subsidy. We have helped in deportations, people who have been deported or been served with deportation orders. We have been successful in taking some matters to court and then getting 4 of these cases upturned and getting the people out. So that is another thing that we have been able to do. We are also regularly conducting classes in yoga, in music, in choir. Regular sessions are happening every week in collaboration with the various city councils around here. Very thankful to all the city councils for doing this. So that is a short brief about FIAWA. We will continue to do our activities, and for today's celebrations, let us all sit back, reflect, respect, and celebrate today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aibji, for your kind words. Can we request the Honorable Matt Keogh to please come and say a few words and encourage our membership? Honorable Matt Keogh is the Federal Minister for Veteran Affairs and Defence. He has been a member of the Australian House of Representatives since 2016, representing both. He is an alumni of the Notre Dame University in Fremantle and held various Labour portfolios. A lawyer by profession, and the law fraternity, I think, runs in your family, with your grandfather being the first lawyer in Armadale. The Honourable Matt Keogh.
Thank you very much and good afternoon, and I'd like to start by also acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we're holding today's ceremony, the Whadjuk people of the great Noongar Nation of southwestern Australia, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. And thank you, Auntie, for the wonderful welcome at the beginning of today's formalities. I'm honoured to extend my congratulations to FIAWA for today's amazing event that you've put on, bringing together celebrations of India's Republic Day and, of course, Australia Day here for us as well. And an amazing celebration it has already been. India and Australia, of course, have much in common. Our membership of the Commonwealth, of course, our joint love of cricket, but importantly also our combined faith in democracy, our multi-faith communities, and sharing January 26, the significant national days in Australia Day and Republic Day. And Australia is, of course, an extraordinary nation, one where the story begins more than 60,000 years ago, but with new chapters written every day. On Australia Day, we reflect on our long history, from our First Nations foundations, one of the oldest continuing cultures in the world, through to the most recent migrants on our shores, including many from India over the last 2 centuries. Republic Day for India is all about nation building too, honouring the day the Indian Constitution came into effect, celebrating independence as a republic, something I and many Australians still hope to achieve for our nation as well. Australia Day is also a day to acknowledge the difficulties in this history, including the effects of colonisation on Aboriginal people and how we can all improve together as a nation. We respect and acknowledge the stories, achievements and histories of all, be they First Nations Australians, new Australians and those that have been here for generations. This year, our journey of healing for this nation will take another step forward. The government will hold a referendum to embrace the Uluru Statement from the Heart, including a constitutionally enshrined voice to Parliament. It is one of the most important commitments we can make towards bringing Australians together. Now, Australia is a richer, smarter, more interesting and more prosperous nation because of people from all corners of the globe who have built their lives here, including, of course, our great Indian community who make such an amazing contribution across our community, including right here in the federal electorate of Burt. We are a nation where what matters is not the number of generations you've been here or which God you worship, how much money you have, the colour of your skin, your gender or your postcode. Instead, we see good Australians as people who stand up for minorities, the less powerful, and are committed to a fair go for all. Being a good Australian is in the kindness you show to others and the values you hold. And I'm proud that today's celebration acknowledge and celebrate the solidarity between Australians and people of Indian heritage across Western Australia. The Western Australian Indian community continues to make an enormous contribution to our state's vibrant multicultural society on every level, in business, trade, academics, medicine, law, the public sector, and in those vital community support services. With its rich cultural traditions, the Indian diaspora represents a significant part of our inclusive, culturally diverse society. I would like to congratulate all of the members of FIAWA, all of the member organisations of FIAWA and their members as well, for organising these joint celebrations of Australia Day and India's Republic Day for 2023, and also thank FIAWA for all of the ongoing charitable and support activities that you do throughout the year. I offer my best wishes to the members of the Indian community living here in Western Australia, and if there is anything I can ever do to support you as your federal representative down here in the southeastern suburbs of Perth, please do get in touch. Happy Indian Republic Day and Happy Australia Day.
Thank you, Honourable Matt Cowie, for those inspiring words. Can I please call onto stage the Honourable Dr. Tony Booty, Minister for Education, Aboriginal Affairs, Citizenship and Multicultural Interests. Tony is from Armidale and he studied at UWA and at Oxford. Tony has been a member of the Legislative Assembly since 2010 and he was a university lecturer before he joined politics.
Thank you. Could I also commence by acknowledging that we are meeting on Whadjuk country of the Noongar Nation, pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. I won't read through the long list of VIPs, otherwise we'll be here to Easter, but I acknowledge everyone on the stage here and more particularly the people out there in the audience. It's always good to follow the Honourable Matt Keogh because I know that he always does a thorough speech and I endorse everything he says, so my speech can be very, very short. I'll just say a few words. Yes, we are here celebrating Republic Day, 1950, 26th of January 1950, when India became a republic, only 3 years after it gained its independence from Great Britain. That's only 3 years to make a major change, a major constitutional change, and Matt Keogh mentioned about the referendum that we are facing or we'll be voting on later this year. So it's something that we all need to consider very, very carefully, and I think Matt has articulated the reasons behind the referendum to take place. I am the Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Interests in State Parliament, and it's quite amazing the state that we live in. We're here today not only celebrating Australia Day, but Republic Day of India. Matt Keogh comes from Irish ancestry. I come from Italian ancestry. We're here in the Serbian club celebrating an Indian National Day. So it shows how multicultural we are. At the last census, 2021 census, there was 77,000 people of Indian ancestry that was counted, but more likely it's around 100,000. It was 12% increase from the 2016 census. I know that if you go to a citizenship ceremony in the city of Armidale, you can be assured that a sizable proportion of people that are taking the citizenship oath are from the Indian subcontinent. The Indian community has been a very vibrant community in West Australia. You have made us a better community and society. And FIAWA has done an amazing job in servicing the community and being incredibly charitable in its efforts. So thank you very much to FIAWA for all the efforts that you've done. Thank you for putting on this special day. Thank you to all my colleagues up here for their attendance, because we do have a lot of commitments on Australia Day. I wish you the best of luck and enjoy the rest of the events. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Tony Booty. May I request our very own Consul General Shri Amarjit Singh Ji to please come and speak a few words for us. Amarjit Singh Ji.
Kaya, good afternoon and namaskar to all of you. मैं आज इस भारतवर्ष के गणतंत्र दिवस पर और ऑस्ट्रेलिया डे पर आप सभी को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूं. But before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, and on behalf of the Consulate General of India in Perth and the entire community in Western Australia, pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to say thank you to the traditional owners for allowing the Indian community to work and prosper here and propagate their culture and celebrate their cultural traditions. I would like to thank you, the organizers, for inviting me to this wonderful multicultural celebrations, as just Dr. Tanubuti just highlighted. We are from different regions and celebrating it in the Serbian community hall. Next time, perhaps we should celebrate it in the Indian Community Center if we can. India and Australia have several commonalities which serve as a foundation for close cooperation and multifaceted interaction which exist between our two countries. I acknowledge the great work done by the organizers. I would like to particularly thank Mr. Balli Singh. I don't see him around. He's been doing a lot of great community service. And wherever the consulate is not able to reach, we send Balli Singh. He is our extension. And he's also been doing great work in the spiritual centers. I saw him working at both the Gurdwaras in Gurdwara Bennett Spring as well as in Gurdwara Kenningwell Se Gurdwara. And he did the Langar Seva there, and he's been helping the Punjabi community as well. During the past more than 70 years since gaining independence, India has made tremendous progress in each and every spheres. In fact, Excellencies, if I may tell you, currently under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, India is progressing at an unprecedented scale, the scale which has not been even heard of or thought of. Despite having a large population of about 1.38 billion, and extreme diversity in culture, language, and religion, India has emerged as a mature, cohesive, and progressive democracy and has made strides in various fields. India holds its uniqueness in diversity and has adapted itself to international changes with poise and comfort. This year, India has taken over the presidency of G20, and we are holding a series of events in India. I hope some of you would be able to travel to India and participate in those events, but for sure, the Australian Prime Minister will travel to India twice, in March, as has already been stated in the media, and again in September when India will host the G20 leaders meet. And as Australia will be holding the Quad meeting here sometime this year, we don't know what the time and the place is. Prime Minister Modi will also travel to Australia. The relationship between India and Australia is growing in strength and depth. A series of cabinet ministers as well as the state ministers from India has visited Australia during last 6 months. Same thing has happened from Australian side also. Several Australian ministers have visited India, including the Deputy Premier who led the largest ever trade and investment delegation to India, leading a member of 125-member delegation. So why I am mentioning this to you is for you to appreciate that the leaders of both the countries have invested a lot of time and energy in nurturing this relationship, taking this to a higher level. Since we signed comprehensive strategic partnership between India and Australia in June 2022, our relations have really grown tremendously. Recently, on 29 December 2022, India and Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement came into effect, and I would request all of you to take advantage of this and start some kind of business activity with India, perhaps. As you know, under ACTA, there will be zero duty on 96% of Indian exports in value to Australia. Tariffs have also been eliminated on 85% of Australia's exports to India, and they will be gradually rising to 95% over next 5 to 10 years. People-to-people contacts play a very important role, and all the Pravasi Bhartiyas here are doing a wonderful work contributing to the larger benefit of the people here in Western Australia and India. At the recently concluding Pravasi Bhartiya Divas, my Prime Minister said that you are all Rashtradoot because you are the real ambassadors of India, and you are working for strengthening those bridges between Australia and India. Before I leave, I would like to convey my heartiest greetings to the Indian community here as well as our Australian friends here on behalf of the Government of India as well as 1.38 billion people in India. A very happy Republic Day to all of you and a very happy Australia Day to all of my Australian friends and dignitaries. I am very thankful to the honorable ministers here, Mr. Matt Keogh. He's been a great support to India. Dr. Tony Bhuti, he's a great friend and a great support to the entire Indian community. Mr. Terry Healy, I don't see him here, but he'll be around. Ms. Jessica Shaw, Ms. Meredith Himmat, Mr. Hugh Trevor Jones, Dr. David Honey, and of course the mayors, Teresa Lynch and Patrick Hall. They have been a great friend and very good host to the Indian community in your respective regions. I would also like to inform you, and in fact you are already aware, that under the Labour government led by Mr. McGovern, we have 3 Indian languages being introduced in Western Australian schools. Hindi and Tamil is introduced this year, this academic year, and Punjabi will be coming from next academic year. And I would like to thank you, Dr. Tony Bhuti, for this wonderful support. And I hope you will take care that this, while the government has made this policy, but the language is actually implemented in the schools also. Some schools come forward wherever there are Indian students. I think they come forward and they will have teachers to teach the language and the students who would like to learn the language. I would like to say thank you here again to the organizers for inviting me to this wonderful event. This is my first time coming to their event. They told us that they have a membership of about 63 organizations. I am yet to see them where they are. Today morning we had the flag hoisting ceremony at the consulate. We had a jam-packed my consulate is small, you must have seen it, but we still had about 250 people there. Many of them were missing and I see them here. They were not in my session, but I see them here. So this is my complaint to you. Next time, please do come to the consulate also. Stand with your consulate and be a support to us also. Because, as I mentioned about Ekta, but we also have another Ekta. मैं आपसे हिंदी में बात करना चाहूँगा. जो हिंदी का शब्द एकता है उसको मत भूलिएगा, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. हम डिफरेंट प्रांतों से, डिफरेंट शहरों से, डिफरेंट कल्चर बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं, लेकिन वो जो हम डिविजन्स वहाँ रखे हैं वो वहीं रखें. जब हम विदेश में आ जाते हैं तो हम विदेशों में हमें सिर्फ एक ही तरफ से एक ही भारतीय दिखना चाहिए. और ये मेरी सब आप लोगों से हाथ जोड़ कर गुजारिश है, आप लोग जैसे आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप ज़रूर कोशिश करें कि हम एक रहें. हिंदुस्तान की एकता बनाए रखनी है और इसको बनाए रखने के लिए मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, आप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आप हिंदुस्तान के नुमाइंदे हैं यहाँ पर. मैं तो सिर्फ सरकारी नुमाइंदा हूँ, लेकिन आप रियल में नुमाइंदे हैं, क्योंकि आप ऑस्ट्रेलियन भी हैं और हिंदुस्तानी भी हैं. इसलिए मेरी आप लोगों से बहुत बहुत करबद्ध प्रार्थना है कि कोशिश करें कि मिलजुल कर सकें. जो अपने डिफरेंसेस हैं उसको भूल जाएं. हमारे बीच में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है, हम लोग सब एक हैं. हमारी भाषा अलग हो सकती है, वेशभूषा अलग हो सकती है, खाना पीना सब एक जैसा है. हम सभी के धमनियों में भारतीय रक्त बह रहा है. उस रक्त के लिए आप इसी झंडे को सलूट कर रहे हैं, इसी तिरंगे को सलूट कर रहे हैं. अगर इस तिरंगे को आप यहाँ सलूट कर सकते हैं तो वहाँ भी कर सकते हैं और इधर भी कर सकते हैं. इस बात को बिल्कुल ध्यान में रखिएगा. मेरी गुजारिश है कि जब अगला हमारा राष्ट्रीय दिवस आए तो हम लोग वहाँ पे इकट्ठे हों, सभी लोग इकट्ठे हो सकें. और अगर हम किसी के कहने से डरते हैं कि नहीं वो मुझे वो देखेगा, ऐसे कहेगा, ऐसे कहेगा, तो फिर हम लोग कमज़ोर हैं. हमें डरना नहीं चाहिए. अगर आपका जो विश्वास है उस विश्वास पे अटल रहिए और उस विश्वास के साथ खड़े हो चाहिए, तभी हिंदुस्तान तरक्की करेगा. हिंदुस्तान तो तरक्की कर ही रहा है, बहुत आगे बढ़ रहा है. हम लोग 1.38 बिलियन पीपल हैं, 1.5 होने वाले हैं कुछ सालों में. हिंदुस्तान की तरक्की को ना आप रोक सकते हैं, ना मैं रोक सकता हूँ, ना कोई और देश रोक पाएगा. तो आप लोग क्या हिंदुस्तान के साथ हैं ये देख के चलिएगा. हमें हिंदुस्तान के साथ रहना. आप लोगों का सारा जो हिंदुस्तान के साथ काम चल रहा है, हिंदुस्तान में परिवार है आपका, हिंदुस्तान में बिजनेस भी है. तो इस एकता के शब्द पे जरूर ध्यान दीजिएगा और इस एकता के शब्द को चरितार्थ कीजिएगा, ताकि वो एकता हमारे बीच में दिखाई दे. इन सब लोगों को दिखनी चाहिए वो एकता. ऐसा ना हो कि 250 यहाँ बैठे हैं, 250 यहाँ बैठे हैं, कहीं 10 उधर हैं, 20 उधर बैठे हैं। हम वो 1 लाख लोग यहाँ पे हैं, मुझे 1 लाख आज तक दिखाई नहीं दिए कहीं। मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ उनको मोमबत्ती लेके, टॉर्च लेके। तो कोशिश कीजिए कि हम लोग इकट्ठा रहें। सॉरी आई स्टार्टेड स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी, बट देयर वाज अ मैसेज फॉर देम ऑन एकता, ऑन यूनिटी. While we are, what I was telling them, that while we are celebrating our diversity, we should also be united all the time, because India gains strength only when we are united. We are 1.38 billion, and as I was telling that we will be growing faster. The media says that we will soon be surpassing China and will become the most populous country on the earth. This is not a laurel that we are looking for. So, Dr. Bhuti, you can continue with your work of giving citizenship to more Indian people, because we have many of them there. We don't mind them coming here. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I took you a lot of your time, but since you gave me the microphone, so you will have to bear with me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to now call Ms. Jessica Shaw, MLA for the member of Swan Hills. Jessica is the Parliament Secretary to the Deputy Premier, Minister for State Development, Jobs and Trades, Hydrogen Industry, Tourism and Science. Born in the UK, Jessica studied law at Cambridge and worked in the private sector in the energy industry before entering politics. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Kaya Wanju, it is a genuine pleasure to be invited to join you today on the celebration of such momentous occasions for both of our great countries. I, as the member for Swan Hills, have a very significant Indian diaspora in my electorate. In my local area, the Indian community makes a remarkable contribution, and I would just like to acknowledge particularly the Ellenbrook Punjabi Council that do absolutely wonderful things in my community, including auspicing and organising the inaugural Ellenbrook Multicultural Festival, which is now in its second year. And also throughout the COVID period from the Sikh Gurdwara in Bennett Springs, going above and beyond, making sure that those most vulnerable members of our community continue to receive food, care packages. I just want to express my deep gratitude to the Ellenbrook Punjabi Council in particular for the great contribution. But indeed, it is worth a round of applause, because it is remarkable. In addition to being a local member, I do have the great privilege to be the Parliamentary Secretary to the Honourable Roger Cook, who is the Minister for Trade, and indeed he did lead the largest delegation that has ever gone from Western Australia outbound to another country, and he chose India. And he chose India for a very good reason, because the friendship between our countries is deep, long-lasting and strong, with incredible potential. And the bridges between our two countries are built on events like this, between the friends of ours that have chosen to make Australia home and vice versa. As a local member, as a member of your state government, as a member of the Australian community, I certainly look forward to those bonds between us becoming ever stronger. And thank you again for inviting me today.
Thank you, Jessica. I would like to now call Ms. Meredith Hammett, the MLA for Member for Mirrabooka. Meredith is the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Education, Aboriginal Affairs, Citizenship and Multicultural Interests. She studied at UWA and received a Master's in Indigenous Relationships. Meredith has been the MLA for Mirrabooka since 2021. Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I also begin, as others have done, by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land where we meet today and pay my respects to the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. And particularly as we gather here on Australia Day, I want to thank our traditional owners for their custodianship of our land for more than 60,000 years and their incredible contribution to our culture. It's a great privilege to be here today to celebrate Indian Republic Day with you, and can I thank FIAWA, all the organisers, for putting on this event. It is no small task to bring together many community members and host an event such as this, and so I want to thank them for their work in doing that. As the member for Mirrabooka, I represent one of the most culturally and linguistically diverse communities in Western Australia, possibly in all of Australia. More than half of the people that live in the area that I represent speak languages other than English at home. And now, as Parliamentary Secretary to Minister Booty, I've got a particular interest in multicultural affairs in WA. And one of the things I've reflected on as I've attended Australia Day citizenship ceremonies this morning is the fact that we are fortunate enough to live in one of the most successful multicultural countries in the world, that we enjoy not just rich cultural diversity here in Australia and in Western Australia, but in fact we've built an incredibly cohesive society around the many different cultures that have chosen to come and live here in Australia. And there's probably many reasons for that success, but I think one of the things that has contributed enormously to our successful multicultural community is having vibrant communities like your own, actively engaged community organisations like FIAWA, who bring the community together to celebrate traditional days, to share and strengthen your traditions, your cultures, to make sure they're handed down to the next generation, but importantly to make sure that those traditions and your culture is shared with the rest of Australia. And I really wanted to thank the Indian community today for being so incredibly generous in sharing your traditions and your culture. As others before me have said, Australia and the Indian communities have incredibly strong bonds. We share a lot of values in common. But when you celebrate traditional days, celebrate Republic Day, it is a way of sharing with the broader community in Western Australia all of the wonderful things that make up the Indian community. Not just your fantastic food, your amazing traditional dress, the traditional dances, but to share your warmth, your generosity, to share the love of family, the love of community. You share your love of cricket, and I know we have that in common, and sometimes the relations between us ebb and flow with cricket. But it's the sharing of your culture that builds strong bonds for all of us, and I think that makes Australia, and Western Australia in particular, a fantastic place for everyone to live, with those strong bonds between different community groups here in WA. So I want to thank your organisers for bringing the community together today. Thank you all for attending, and I'm delighted to have been a part of these celebrations of your Republic Day. Happy Republic Day.
Thank you, Meredith. I would now like to call on stage Mr. Hugh Trevor Jones. Hugh has been a member of Darling Range since 2021. He's a former Lieutenant Commander in the Royal Australian Navy, and where he served for over 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and Kaya. I'd like to thank Auntie Roma for the welcome to country. It was a beautiful welcome and a beautiful song. First time I've heard a welcome to country in song without being accompanied by a didgeridoo. So well done on that, and thank you. Also endorse the comments of the previous speakers. As you go further down the line, there's less to say, which if you're in the audience, that's probably not a bad thing. I do, unlike Mirrabooka, Darling Range, where I represent, is not quite as culturally diverse. Darling Range is down Byford, the Shire of Serpentine Jarrahdale, and a part of Armidale. I think 70% of people in my electorate are born in Australia. But of the people born overseas, behind England and New Zealand, the highest is people born in India. I think it's 2.2%. And there's, I think across WA it's 2.1%. So we're doing quite well with the people born in India. And the Consul General also mentioned the McGowan government's investment in education in terms of language, with Hindi and Tamil, in Hindi, and also Punjabi being offered from next year, from year 3 to 10, and year 11 and year 12 in 2025. So it's good news for people of Indian descent. But it's also good news for WA, who, as mentioned, we had the largest trade delegation go to India last year. So investing in language studies for people who may have Indian heritage and perhaps others is a great investment, and we can take advantage of the ties we have with India. And also, there's other ties as well. I was in the Navy, and Athol will attest. Both the Royal Australian Navy and Indian Navy were born of the Royal Navy, so all our procedures are very similar. I've been on board Indian ships at sea, and you wouldn't know the difference between Australian Navy and Indian Navy. Apart from those little delicacies that they offer in the mess, like hundreds and thousands, but they're mint. Apart from that, it's all the same. So I'm very happy to represent Darling Range and the Indian people of Indian descent, and I thank FIAWA for the work they do in terms of, as has been mentioned, in terms of domestic violence, legal support, and other support for the people in my community. And I wish you all a happy Republic Day.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to call on to the stage Dr. David Honey, MLA member for Cottesloe, the leader of the WA Liberal Party and the Shadow Minister for State Development, Energy, Hydrogen, Science, Innovation, ICT and Water. David was raised on a farm in Cranbrook in the southwest of WA and has lived in Cottesloe for over 33 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To Your Honour Amarjit Singh Taki, Consul General of India, to my distinguished ministers, parliamentary colleagues, mayors, and many distinguished guests, can I say a remarkably distinguished audience, and I had the great pleasure of being introduced to you, many of you before. I particularly want to acknowledge President Ip, who's for the Federation of the Indian Association of WA, and just for the fantastic work that the association does. You know, when you're at the end of a long list of speakers, you sort of tend to notice that the background noise increases and the number of seats that are occupied in the hall thin. It's God's way of telling you not to talk for too long, because people's patience is wearing thin and only the most polite remain. Look, I think that there has been tremendous coverage today amongst the speakers of the close ties between India and Australia. I think that it's something I've said in many forums, but there is, other than our strategic relationship with the United States, there is no relationship that is going to have a greater impact on the future of Australia than the relationship that we have with India. And I think you've heard from all of the speakers today, including the Ambassador, that that relationship is one that is getting stronger and stronger. At a very selfish level, being an Australian and being a Western Australian, India will become the predominant source of migrants into Australia. The population around the world is maximising in most countries, and in fact it's only India and parts of Africa that will continue to have population growth over the next couple of decades. And it means that for the growth of the Australian economy, we're going to increasingly rely on more and more people coming from India to make up that population shortfall in Australia. So in that very practical sense, that tie will continue. Look, it is a wonderful relationship, a developing and growing relationship between the two countries. We may be separated by a couple of thousand kilometres, but I do reflect that I am now, at this moment, I am closer to the east coast of India than I am to Canberra. And I think that does reflect how important, especially that relationship is for Western Australia. So in the company of friends and family alike, I really want to recognise two very important days. First, Indian Republic Day, 73 years ago, that important democratic, vibrant republic formed, and also Australia Day, recognising the contribution of the Indigenous Australians that have been here for thousands of years, but all of you and all of those other migrants that have come to Australia since. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Okay, and now I would like to call on stage, last but definitely not least, Your Worship Teresa Lyons, the Mayor of Gosnells. Teresa is the President of the Australian Local Government Women's Association WA branch. She was also the ex-school board chairperson for Thornley Senior High School and a business owner in her own right. Thank you, Teresa.
Still the chair.
Still the chair.
Still the chair. Kaya Wanju, good afternoon everyone, and I too will acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people and pay my respects to the elders both past and present, and also acknowledge those in the room, the Aboriginal people in the room today that have helped to come and celebrate. Also, just quickly acknowledge everyone that's here, and of course Ipe, who's the chairperson of the FIAWA and the committee, as well as the patron, Mr. Atul Garg. I'm going to keep this short because I mostly agree with everything that's already been said, except for maybe the Consul General, because he was speaking in a different language that I don't speak, so I'm not sure what you were saying, but I hope it was all good. But on a personal note, from the City of Gosnells, we are very happy with our relationship that we have with FIAWA. We are happy to have supported events in the community and really happy with our connections that we have with our Indian community. And I will just quickly, Mayor Patrick Hall had to leave, so I hope the City of Canning councillors that are in the front row here don't mind. They're not even listening. City of Canning, hello. City of Canning, hello. Busted. Just say something on behalf of the City of Canning as well, because Patrick had to leave, that I know that he and the councillors there enjoy the relationship they have with FIAWA. So I wish you all a very happy Independence Day, happy Australia Day, and thank you very much for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Now, may I invite our patron, Sri Atul Garg, to quickly address the thing, and then we go to the next program. Atulji.
Thank you. Firstly, I too respectfully acknowledge the present and past traditional owners of this land on which we are meeting today, the Noongar people. It is my privilege to be standing on Noongar country and conducting today's event, the joint celebrations of Australia Day and Indian Republic Day 2023. I'm particularly proud today of the fact that today some of our co-performers, you'll be seeing some great performances today, and some of our co-performers in several events are Aboriginals. So you'll see a lot more fusion in this event than it's been ever before. I acknowledge all the VIPs on stage and off stage, and the audience who are sitting in front of me. Thank you very much for being here with us today. It's a matter of extreme pride and privilege for me to share with you, this is our 5th mega event. We have been in existence for about 6 years, and this is our 5th mega event we are doing. For organizing today's event, we are extremely thankful to the Australian Federal Government for providing funding through the National Australia Day Council with the theme of respect, reflect, respect, and celebrate. The chairperson, IPG, has already explained the meaning of this, so I won't go into that again. We started FIAWA about 6 years ago in 2017 to deliver services to the Indian community for which they were very much deprived of. There was a big need to create an organization like FIAWA because the services like bereavement services, domestic violence services, elder abuse services were absolutely not heard of in the Indian community, and it was a big requirement to create those services. That was the reason the then Consul General and some MLAs and some of the VIPs got together and took the initiative to create FIAWA. And that was a great idea. Since then, FIAWA has been providing great services, which our chairperson described some time ago. Ladies and gentlemen, personally, I have dedicated more than 30 years of my life to Australia to make a difference in lives of people. I was chosen, lucky enough, to lead FIAWA 6 years ago. Basically, in my case, I have focused so far on things like Prostate Cancer Foundation, Neighborhood Watch. These were the things which were very dear to me. 6 years ago, I became very much involved in providing the services, the community services to the Indian diaspora. Working over 30 years has given me obviously tremendous amount of joy. Anybody in your families who is suffering from something or who is disabled in some way or the other, things like prostate cancers, help, or there are plenty of help available within FIAWA and other communities which you can come forward. And it's absolutely very courageous to seek help from organizations like FIAWA and other similar organizations. Another social evil we have in our community is we are spending too much time in front of the screen, that is the computer, laptops, or the phones. So what FIAWA has done is, we have created several activities to get away as much as possible from your screen time. So we conduct free classes in yoga, in music, that is, we teach free guitar, piano, tabla, and dhol to anybody who wants to learn. It's not just the Bollywood dancing, which we have been doing for many years. Last 2 years, we have taken a lot of interest in teaching music to those people, including some of the mental health people are joining and taking part in our classes. More than 200 odd people have benefited from our free classes in music, which we just started doing about a year ago. It is very important for all of us to make the benefit of this life. God has given this life for us to make a change, make a difference, to help anybody in the community who needs that help. We can while away the time, but it's very important to get up and do something rather than just saying something. FIAWA believes in that. It's very important. We are always available. We have our team of lawyers. We have been successfully able to get people away from detention centers. We have fought cases. We took help from federal government. We have successfully got people away from detention centers. So that much effort we have put in the recent times. Now, being a patron, my biggest job is to get funding. I have to make sure I have enough sponsors, funding from the government and from the private sponsors. For that, I must thank our major sponsor, NADC, platinum sponsors, Murdoch University, Aussies Migration, Migration and Education Consultant, Apiro Training Services, DPS Accounting, gold sponsors 3 Elements, ProSecure Security, Cyber Recycling, Account Tax, silver sponsors, SKD, Highgate International College, and Perth Maxi Charter. And of course, the biggest thing is today you'll see the annual award winners. I want to congratulate the annual award winners. We have an honor roll of last 6 years, and today you'll find the award winners for this year. I thank FIAWA Management Committee members for their hard work, all the performance for your contribution, and finally, I thank you all for being part of today's celebrations and supporting FIAWA. Thank you and God bless.
Very nice, Atulji. Thank you very much for your kind words. And now comes the time when we acknowledge eminent Indians in the community in Western Australia. At the onset, may I also acknowledge that we have with us some very academically prominent Indians over here, one of them being Professor Kadambot Siddiqui. And we have the privilege of honoring 3 Indians every year as the FIAWA annual awards. One of them is the WA Indian of the Year 2023. The other one is the Senior Western Australian of the Year 2023 and the FIAWA Person for 2023. The first one, West Australian Indian of 2023. May I request Professor Rajiv Varshe to please come on the stage. Rajiv ji, as everyone knows, is an agricultural research scientist specializing in genomics and molecular breeding for the last 20 plus years. and is an internationally acknowledged entity, not only in Australia, but in India, Germany, Australia, Mexico, and many other African countries. Presently, he serves as Murdoch University's Director for Center for Crop and Food Innovation. His bio reads like a who's who, and it would take about another 5 minutes for me to read the whole thing out. But we know that he is a recognized leader in the industry globally, not just in Australia and India. He is a prolific writer and author and has achieved Clairvaux High cited research for 9 consecutive years in a row, an achievement by itself. He has been recognized with about 30 prestigious awards from the USA, Germany, China, India, Nepal, Vietnam, Philippines, UAE. So every place literally on the globe knows about Rajiv ji. He's also been awarded the most coveted science award, Ahmed Kidivi Award, the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, and he has also been listed as one of the top 250 scientists in the world. So great round of applause to Rajiv ji. May I request Rajiv ji to please come on stage. Aib ji. Can we request Mr. Matt Keogh? Okay. Also, can we have the people in the back, or the kids that are playing, to please stay a little quiet. Thank you. Can I request Honorable Tony Buri to please come on and do the felicitations. Thank you very much. Shri Rajiv, congratulations. Next, we have the senior citizen of Western Australia. Sorry, Rajiv, do you want to say a few words?
Thank you. Kaya, good day. It's an honor and privilege for me to accept this award. I really feel very humbled and honored, and I would like to thank FIAWA and especially Mr. Atul Garg for selecting me for this award. I would like to thank all my collaborators, colleagues from Murdoch University and also other organizations, including Professor Siddiq from University of Western Australia and all these other supporters. And I'm really grateful to have all of you here. And in the end, I would like to wish Happy Australia Day and also Happy Republic Day to all those colleagues who are celebrating. So thank you very much, and thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Rajiv ji. These awards are chosen from among a plethora of people who we shortlist, and then the person is chosen. The next award, Senior West Australian of the Year 2023, goes to Alan Phillips. Everyone knows Alan and his wife, who migrated from Dehradun in India. And he has been involved in community work since 1970 in India, where he was involved with the Anglo-Indian Association of Dehradun and was also a principal in the school there, where he assisted get many of the underprivileged kids, children, with free education. While in Perth, he joined the Department of Social Security, now known as Centrelink, in 1994 and retired in 2020. During his years, Alan has received numerous awards and accolades from various prestigious government and other institutions, including the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Community Service at Parliament House in Canberra, an achievement by itself. Alan has been involved in the Anglo-Indian Association since 2001. That's almost my age. He successfully became a non-for-profit migration agent and has been assisting a lot of people. He has been the president in Western Australia for the Anglo-Indian Association since 2006. Can we call on Alan to come on the stage? May I request the Counsel General, Shri Amarjit Singh ji, to please felicitate Alan Phillips. Alan, would you like to say a few words and honor us?
Thank you, Feroz. You've said it all, actually, so you don't leave too much for me to say. But I must say that I'm very fortunate to having received this award here today, and a lot of it would not be possible without the assistance of the politicians that I constantly deal with regards to our community work. And the biggest help of all we get is from my Atul Bhai. Atul Garg is a great supporter of all Indian associations that we have here. Once again, thank you for the award, and thank you all for all your help over the years. God bless.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks a lot. The last and not the least, the FIAWA person for the year 2023 is Narendra Kumar, our very own gentleman. He is born and brought up in India and migrated to Australia in 2011. Currently, he holds a bachelor's degree in electronics and telecommunications for over 20 years and has worked in various industries within Australia, India, USA, and especially with the likes of Western Power, Telstra, Optical Networks, Curtin University, BHP, and Rio Tinto. He is a coordinator for the Bihar Jharkhand Samaj of Western Australia since 2014 and has been actively conducting a lot of community work, not only this own Bihari Jharkhand Association, but also for FIAWA. Mr. Narendra Kumar, please come on the stage. And may I request Mayor Teresa to please award our good man Narendra ji. Can we request all our sponsors to please come near the stage? Can we have all the committee members come near the stage, please? Narendra bhai, don't go away. Just please say a few words to encourage the next generation.
Thank you, Firoz bhai. Respected VIPs, dignitaries, Indian community, thank you, FIAWA, for this award. I would like to thank my family, Indian community, and of course FIAWA, who gave me this platform, to contribute towards the Indian community. It's basically the objective of the FIAWA which has kept me associated with FIAWA right from its inception. And since its inception, it's been growing bigger and bigger. And I'm proud to say that the way the FIAWA has carried out, it also has helped me grow individually. Last but not the least, once again, thank you all the respected guests, my family, and the people who are in here. Thank you.
Thank you, Narendra bhai. You are an inspiration for our FIAWA members. Keep up the good work. Can we have our sponsors and committee members quickly come onto the stage? Come. Can we have the sponsors here, please? Can we call on stage Aussie Migration, Bhomik Patel, Karan Joshi, and Kishan Kanaru from Apiro? Do we have them here or they are still in the back there? Please come on stage as soon as you can. Can we have Kelly Smith from Murdoch or Joel Whitwer? Three Elements, Vishalji, where are you? Shibu John from Cyber Recycling. Sadly, Puneet Rastogi, our accountant, is sick. Amit Kullar from HIC. Sandeep Kumar, SKD Service. Please come on stage quick, guys. We are running out of time. Pankaj Singhal, DPS Accounting. Vishalji. Who's going to give the awards? Mayor, can you please hand over the bags to the people who are leaving? Thank you. Do we have any sponsors close by, or shall we move to the next thing? Okay, any sponsors around quickly? Otherwise, we get the committee members on the stage. I think he's here. But who is there? Oh, Marok is here, yes, but no. Oh, there they are. Balliji, you want to bring them this side? Joel, thank you for coming. Photographs. Is DPS Accounting here? Thank you, Joel. I want. Committee members on the stage, please, quick. The committee members in the back.
Or cyber recycling.
Cyber recycling, are you around? Cyber recycling. Vishal, 3 Elements, lovely food. DPS accounting, SKD, they're all shy, they don't want to come on the stage. Cyber is coming, come along. Amitji, are you around? No, he's shaking his head. Who's there from Amitji? Ah, yeah, Daddy is there, okay. Cyber. They do a lot of wonderful work for us, keeping the country and our community safe. We have Mr. Khullar on behalf of Amitji. Namaskar. Vishalji, do we have anybody from 3 Elements? Element from 3 Elements around? They are busy in the kitchen. Oz Migration is here. Can we have all the committee members and heads of association members from FIAWA to please come on stage? Quick. Come behind the ministers, please. Ellen, come behind. Thank you. Do we have any more committee members or heads of association? Sanjay Bhatia, please. Haryani Association, can we have you on the stage, please? All the committee members, heads of associations, please, we request you on the stage. Sanjay Bhatia. You don't want a problem on the video. Guys, I know it has been a bit patient for you guys. This is the end of the official program. We will start the cultural program soon. Atulji has already given us the vote of thanks, and thank you all very much for your patience. Appreciate that. We are all here. Let's go.
Second row also standing. Sab log. Second row, everybody. So that's fine.
We'll manage it. Thank you to all the special VIPs for the day. And we really appreciate your coming here. We'll start the cultural program. Thank you very much for your patience on the stage and really appreciate your support all along. FIAWA acknowledges your support. Thank you all very much.